So next thing is recommendation, right? Expand your knowledge with clean code. So it is beyond writing code, right? Some of you must have heard of design patterns, and that's what makes a software engineer different from a developer. As a software engineer, you must be able to read books, watch videos that can help you think, help you solve problems, right? Books like Clean Code, Designing Data-Intensive Application are some of the books you can read. It helps you know how to write code. Have you been in some organizations? There was one organization I work for. My God, when they gave me their code, when I have access to their code base, I was just very angry. Why? Because some of the developers that worked on that project before, they just wrote the code anyhow. There's a way you write code. It's just the same way when it comes to food. There are some ways some people will prepare food for you. Even though the food you suit, you don't want to eat it because the way the food looks like it's have you cooked vegetable before? No, it's vegetable I've used. Okra. Have you made okra before? Sorry. For an international audience, okra is like we eat. How do I explain okra now? I mean, okay. For international audience, I'm sorry, right? That's just one of the food we eat here in Africa or in Nigeria. So for okra, let's say you're making okra now. Your water, the water in the okra is somewhere. The okra itself is somewhere. The fish is somewhere scattered, right? It's not, if your food is not attractive, people will not want to eat. It's just like packaging. So if you don't package yourself well, people will not want to talk to you, or people don't want to associate with you, right? So that's the same way when it comes to code, right? There's a way you write your code that anybody coming back to look at the code will understand and like, oh, this is what this person is trying to do. There are some other ways you write your code, and when people look at your code, they'll be like, what is this person trying to do? What is this person trying to do? I am confused. Do you understand? So those are why some of those books are very important. They help you know how to write maintainable code and build sustainable system. Right? These are two books I recommend, but there are several other books that can talk about, right? So for online courses, so I won't recommend. So I'm this disclaimer, disclaimer. This is a very important disclaimer. I'm putting Coursera and Udemy here because I understand the audience, right? You guys are just trying to learn and all that, right? If you want a recognized certification, Udemy and Coursera will not do it too. There are some exams you write to be recognized, right? Oracle have exams for Java developers that make them certified. Amazon and Co. Google Cloud, they have programs that can help you know how to use their systems and all. Those ones are more recognized. But I'm talking to my audience. I understand our pockets. I understand that we're just trying to find our way around. So that's why I'm using all this so that at least to help you get yourself started. So if I show you my laptop now, this laptop I'm using to take this class, I've been using this laptop for almost 4 years, 5 years now. And if I open my desktop, I have a complete course on Udemy, on Udemy, on Coursera. I have some Coursera courses I took then, right? Because I know that I could afford it was in a structured way. The disadvantage of using YouTube to learn sometimes is that if they don't create a playlist that can help you know where to start from, some of you just gonna start from the middle. And you just like, why are they using this one like this? Because you don't understand why, because there was no structure. Those are why platforms like Coursera and Udemy, they have an advantage because we are starting from ground up, right? We're starting from the basics. Then as you learn more and learn more, you get more exposed. Setting up your environment. I think my madam Esther did justice to that last week. She showed you some stuff. Yes, very important. Whether you're a front-end developer or you're a back-end developer or you're a tester or whatever, right? As far as you are seeing code, Git, please get familiar with version control. It's very, very important. VS Code is a very popular IDE too. If you're a front-end developer, you must have heard of VS Code. If you're a back-end developer, some of you use VS Code for Java, some of you use VS Code for Python. That's VS Code, one of the most popular IDE, right? Git is very important because what are version control systems, right? When you want to be able to keep track, so if you want to know more about version control, just go and I'm going to refer you to the video on technical writing, the first class. I told the class, I showed technical writer. Some of you are asking, what is technical writer doing with Git? You'll find out when you watch the video. But it helps you keep track of changes, right? If you're working in a big organization where you have like 1,000 developers working on the application, you want to know who made change, when they made a change. You want to see the previous version of the code. For example, A situation happened in my company one time like that. Someone pushed a code. They reviewed the code, but people that reviewed the code, they didn't review the code. Well, it was now breaking something. Customer, I won't mention the name of the financial organization, so that you not go and just keep the company safe. Imagine you go to an ATM or you go to your app and you transfer 10K. Let's say you have 20K in your balance. You transfer 10K to your friend and you still have 10K. You still have 20K. Your balance is not reducing. And you keep on transferring. Your balance is still the same. That was what that code did to them. Yes, developers are very important too, especially backend. They are handling logic. You can make mistake that will cost company billions of naira. So you have to be very careful. So that was what that code did, right? The person transferred 10K. So people were now transferring money. Balance is not changing. So with the help of Git, they could track the changes back and revert the code to the way it was before. Imagine there was something like version control. What would have happened? People would have they were able to get their money back, but not from everybody. Do you understand? Postman, you can use that one for API testing. So Postman is like I call it, so you can understand, I call it like our own front end for backend developers. So when the front end person is working on the front end and it's not ready, you can use Postman to test that your own API is working the way it's supposed to work, right? Even the front end person, before the person start using your APIs, you first test on Postman too, that is working. Your tester, your QA that will test, they will test on Postman too. The other platform apart from Postman, Postman is just like the most popular one for testing API, right? There's Isomia, there's other platforms you can use for testing, right? So there is Docker. I'm not going to touch on about it because this is a beginner class. But yeah, for containerization, you can read about it. There is the Kubernetes. I'm not going to talk about it. It's not going to scope this class, but you can read about it. So let's talk about building your first API. When you want to build your first API, right, you can follow a step-by-step guide to build your first API. I'm using more like a flowchart pattern, like the way I started the class to explain how to do that. Start with like a simple project. Okay. Right. Start with like a simple project to gain experience. Define your API. So most like when you're working on a project like that, you're in a Scrum system or you're in a system that works, right? So you have different stakeholders to make a project. You have your project manager, you have your UI UX designer, you have your technical writer if necessary, you have your product manager if necessary, you have your business analyst, you have your front-end developer, your back-end developer, your tester, your DevOps person. Each of them have their own role, right? So they must have given you, there's what we call requirement documents. Requirement documents contains what is essential to get the work done. The requirements of the functional requirements and the non-functional requirements. Basically, as the English implies, these are not big words. They are normal English requirements, functional requirements. So, okay, let me give you an example. There's a functional requirement on a bank app. I must be able to withdraw. I must be able to transfer. I must be able to send money into my account. Those are functional requirements, right? There are some nice to have, like I can rate the app. I can, I can send my feedbacks, right? Those are also important. Some don't consider it as nice to have, right? So define your API route based on the requirements. Write your code to implement your API logic. Ensure that functionality works. Like test the API that works the way it's supposed to work, right? So then deploy it, make it live. As a developer, I know that yes, it's not your duty to deploy, but you have to know it. As I said, you must know database as a backend developer. You must have an idea about how to deploy. Because me, as I'm talking to you now, I'm not a DevOps person, but most of my applications I deploy them myself. That's why I say backend developers are powerful people. In some companies, they don't even employ those people because they just leave backend to do it. But that's not the way, that's not the ideal case because there are some things that the DevOps person will know that it will take more time for the backend person to read up and understand. But yeah, as a backend person, that's why they pay. Let me say it again before some people drag me. So, what are the best practices when it comes to security testing? Right, incorporate security and testing. Imagine you find your. Have you ever asked yourself why if you stay inactive on a bank application, after a while it will log you out? That's a very important feature. It's very important, right? I'll give you an assignment. Go and read about why it's important. That's a very simple security procedure. Have you ever heard of SQL injection? All right, let me tell you what SQL injection is. SQL injection is that I am feeding some, as a tester, I know that I'm supposed to fill in my name somewhere. I'm now taking some SQL queries. I'm passing it in there to hack your system. If your system is not solid, I don't carry your money come out to. I don't spoil your system with that. Oh, sorry, we have international audience. What I mean is, if I don't properly incorporate testing, right, by the time I pass in those queries, I can more like hack into your system, right? So learn how to incorporate security and testing. It's very important. Security is very, very important, especially for financial organizations. Hey, hackers are trying night and day to get into your system. So you have to be learn about security. I will suggest, if you are not busy, please watch the cyber security videos. It helps you. So don't be someone that is just limited to your niche. You don't have to know it to the core, but learn to know what others are doing. Let me give you an example. There was a particular day we needed to fix something. Our DevOps person was not available, he was sick. And they needed to fix that stuff sharp, sharp. And it was just me that was available. Because I had an idea of what the DevOps person had been doing before. I've seen what the DevOps person had been doing before. Right? I could handle it. It's not in all cases you should be able to do that. But there are some things that you should have an idea of. They should be able to ask you about something and you're able to say it. Not that you are just limited to backend. I can teach software testing, QA. I'm not a software tester. That's because I know what they do. I've read about them. I've watched videos on them. I've practiced it myself. As a software engineer, I've also tested APIs, right? So don't limit yourself to just your niche. I'm not saying that you should now leave your niche and focus on that other niche. No, but have an idea of what they do. Let them be able to ask you what does a technical writer does, and you can answer. It gives you an edge, especially if you are looking at growing your career to the management position, where you want to go beyond being a backend, maybe to like a architect or to like MD to CEO. As a CEO, you think it's only backend between you, or as CTO, chief technology officer, you're the one down to technology or head of technology. You think you just limit yourself to backend. If you want to grow in that light, you must be able to understand, oh, this is what a DevOps person does. I might not know everything about DevOps, but I know that, oh, there's CI/CD process, there's this, there's that. So when they are conversing, you are not quiet. You can see that, okay, you know your beans. Or let me tell you about a company. Our time is almost up. There's a company my friend worked for. Should I call him my friend or an acquaintance, someone I know? This guy was able to cheat the company because the CTO did not even know what he was doing. They will ask him, if you want to buy this one, how much? Because CTO did not know. You just tell the CTO it's $4,000. CTO to just go online, just check on your CTO, will go and check, oh, it's $4,000. Okay, they will tell him, how many days will you take you to complete this work? You tell them 2 months. Something that I can finish in 2 weeks. Because CTO did not know. But that's not why we are here. But so security is very important. Protect your data, ensure reliability and continuous deliveries. So resources and all that. So I'm going to share some resources with the community manager. You can either share on the backend group or for those that are not in the backend group, you most likely share on a public channel, maybe like general group that people can see it and learn. So let me share my screen and show you something, a practical of everything I've been saying since. Okay. So you should be able to see this platform. So some of you are looking at this platform. Many of you, almost everybody on this call, have seen this platform before because it was the platform you used to register for this program, right? I can see there's no much drama here, right? A product person, there was a requirement, a problem we're trying to solve. There was a requirement that was done. The front end, the project manager managed the project, right? They got the requirements from the client, and the designer, UI UX or product designer, designed this to look like this. And the front end person converted. I can open the design for you. I have everything on my laptop. I want to open it for you, right? The front end look at the design that have been done. I used to come up with this, right? Right. When I click a button, in this case, it goes to Google Form. As I tell you that, look at this now. Let me just give you a spoke. Okay. Let me just, sorry for international audience. Let me give you is it ints now or something? But the point I'm trying to make is that when you click a button, right, it goes somewhere. right? When, for example, I click this button. So let me show you a tool that will help you too. It's not just for QA. As a backend, you should be able to know this. So when I right click, try this when you are done. If you need help, drop a chat. I'll show you again. I'll guide you. So go to any browser of your choice. You open your laptop, right click on it. You see mostly on the last one, you see something like inspect. Click on inspect. You see that to divide into two. You see some things that look like code. So these are the front end of this application. I'm not saying you should use this, you can't be stealing front end application of people. There are some you can't even copy, but you can have an idea of, so, okay, if you're a front end developer here, this is a tip for you, right? If you wanted to see, maybe it's align center they use or align left they used here for this piece, or how did they centralize this? What color did they use for this guy? You can get them from this aspect, right? So I can say, okay, let's say I want to focus on this. This is not part of backend though. I'm showing you this for a reason. Like, I want to know about this sponsor a participant. I just come and search so I know that it's in this line. I can open this space. I can start looking. Okay, I know that it's in this line. I can open this space. I can start looking again. I can see that, oh, I can see that it's within this line. You can see my screen. I open again. So I can see the button for sponsor. And I can see that, oh, they use this one. They use 12 pixel here, or they use 14 pixel here, right? So now that's not what I wanted to show you. But I'm giving you bonus, especially if you are a full stack developer. So you click on this thing here, you see network, right? So let's say I want to know the API call that happens, that what goes to the backend when you click this button. So when I click this subscribe to channel button, you can see that it takes me to it's redirect to another page, right? So that the front end person use a redirect here. So let me look for one that does not use a redirect. I think this one uses a redirect. Oh, this one did not use a redirect. So this one goes to a Google form, right? So let me look for something else. So okay, yeah, I think I find there's one. Let's say you want to come to our send an, let me use that. Okay, our social media platform. Oh, it's also with the redirect. Let me look for another website to show when I want to show you. Let me try it here. Network. So I click on fork. An API call happens, right? I can see the headers. I mentioned something about get post, right? This is the URL. I can see the payload that was sent, right? I can see the preview. I can see like a page, whatever. I can see the API response that came back because there's no repository. So that's what happens. That's how backend communicates with front end, right? So basically, I'll be able to show you so I was talking about Git, right? So if you can see, this is my own GitHub. I've not even touched this guy in a while because I'm working in company projects and not my own personal Git. Don't be like me. As you are working on companies projects, be improving your own self by working on your own personal project, and let this guy follow us. All right. So now, if you look at this now, you come to repositories, right? You see some of the projects that this person has done in the past, right? So, for example, let's say this platform. This platform was built for a company in the UK that that they had the car wash company. They had the car wash business, and they wanted us to help them build a platform where I can come, I can scan a code, and I can pay before coming to wash my car. Once I get there, they just scan the code and they wash my car, right? So this, with the version control, I can track changes. Oh, this add job feature was done 5 months ago. Oh, I added the register and the login endpoint 8 months ago, right? So the question is, oh, who made this change? Oh, Adewale made this change. That's the importance of version control. Our time is up already, so I think I'm going to stop here. If you have any question, I know we don't have much time. Like, time is up actually. But if you have any question, you can unmute and ask. So don't forget, I'm going to share two materials you can use to learn, depending on the language you want to learn. But don't let me say I want to share. Let me just tell you now. Free code is one. You can also use It's just that this one is not strong. You can also use W3 schools. With W3 schools, you can select. So let me just drop in the chat. But this one is just for if you want to have an idea, like if you want to understand what to use, when to use. They have different. Let me share my screen again. I'll show you. I know our time is okay. Our time is up. Our time is up. So I'll just show you. Our, the manager have told me that my time is up. So I'll drop the link for you. Yeah, let me drop the link in the chat. So you can go to it. You can see any language of your choice. You can see any language of your choice and, just pick it and learn. But I will share more detailed materials with you that can help you. I've dropped in the chat. I can help you. So, yeah, if nobody's talking, I assume we don't have questions and I can end the call. If you have a question, unmute and ask. If you don't, I will assume, okay, John, you can ask your question. Our time is up, so please go ahead.
Okay, sir.
Unmute
Thank you
and
very
ask your
much, sir.
question.
Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me?
I can't hear John very well. Can you type it in the comment section?
Can you hear me, sir?
Hi, John. Please, can
Can
you
you hear me,
type
sir?
in the comment section? Anybody that have question can type in the comment section. But please be very fast. Joshua, type in your comment section if you have a question too. But be very fast. Or should we do like this? I should answer the question on the group. Just show the comment. If you are not fast enough, I'll just give you like 2 minutes. If you don't type within 2 minutes, we would answer it on the group. It's not going to be via video call. It's going to be via chat. Or let me see if I can switch to this other device. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much. Obina, all right, thank you too. Thank you very much. So if you have any question, just can we get an outline of how to go from beginner to pro? All right, so I'll provide the outline and share it on the channel. Like as far as you are within that, whether on a Telegram or this thing, you get it. Right. So as I've already given you the outline, that's the purpose of the call today, but I'll provide like tools and resources you can use. But as I told you, don't be language specific. Focus on solving problems. Understand how to solve problems. When they give you a problem to solve, start with flowchart or something. Write things down. This is what I'll do first, and then I'll do this. Without any language, this is what I'll do first, then I'll do this, then I'll do this, and I'll do this. Now, when you're not done, okay, what's the language of choice? Do you have a recommendation that they want me to use? Okay, they want you to use Java. Okay, I know Java. I'll use Java. Oh, they want you to use this, or it's a personal project I want to develop. I say, okay, I'll use this language because this is what I want to do, or this is what I want to learn. So, advice: don't learn everything at once. Some people can do it, but I will suggest you just pick one language of your choice, any language you want at all. Should be the most important thing is language is just a tool to solving problem. You can use any language, but understand how to solve problem. Right? So pick a language, a primary language. Know that language very well, such that they can wake you up in the middle of the night and tell you to solve a problem and you can solve it. Once you know that language very well and you are good, build projects with that language. Start applying for internship and project job and get a job with that language. Once you solidify your skills in that language, see, to pick up another language will be very easy. You can just pick up another language and all that. Internship opportunities there now. That one, I will share. I think I've shared the link with some people before, but not on this platform. So I will try and share opportunities for both within outside and outside Nigeria. Amazon, Microsoft, Google. You can land internships there. Then you can also volunteer. So I wanted to show you something, but there was no time. Open source platform you can volunteer for. So there's Outreach. Outreach pay you as much as $7,000 as an intern. That's like we're talking about almost how many million? Imagine you collect that amount of money. Right, there is what's this other one again? I can't remember the name. Internship opportunities. There are internship opportunities. I will just look for a link that has all those internship opportunities and share it on the group. All right, I think that'll be all the questions I can take for now. I need to join another meeting. Thank you so much all for your time, and see you next week.